What means being human outside of the whole machine is building intimacy, building connection, and I would say a higher standard of life. Like when you ask yourself, what do you live for?
I think it's pretty clear to most of us that almost all of the systems that we participate, from the political to the social, the economic, and especially the ecological, that we're doing damage to the planet, and all of us are awakened to we need something new, we need something radically different, like a whole new way of even being in the world for us to source those answers.
We are sitting hours and hours behind the computers. People run from one place to the next. What we try in the EDE is to reconnect.
The EDE is a curriculum which was based on Ecovillage Design Education. So really being willing to create a new way of living in the planet.
It's a beautiful, intense 5 weeks course where you get to learn what are the possibilities to change the world. And this is something you can discover in the 4 fields of economics, ecology, social and worldview.
Every area of life is touched. There's how we relate with each other, how we look at the different systems. But also on a daily level, we work with all the different capacities.
As you're organized in the working groups, in the kitchen shift, and the cleaning shift and all that, you're also organized in the project groups, working on real stuff like planning a permaculture garden or a community or some other great enterprise ideas to really do something which afterwards goes on.
So it's really fundamental that we create those spaces where especially young adults can feel empowered, because the seed is there already. I don't need to teach anybody how important it is. This is felt. Now what is not felt is that they have power to do that.
So for me the notion of self-empowerment and self-responsibility are really connected, because if I take back my responsibility, I also grow back my own power to do, to choose, to be and to go.
And from that point we can start building whatever we want to build. To be part of a transformative culture means, first of all, to listen to yourself.
The sickness of our culture has a lot to do with people not sensing themselves.
Transformative culture is, number one, the willingness to look at, can I make the changes inside me to participate? Am I willing to take this on?
We need to clear up our ego construct, and that gives you the freedom to see yourself and to be effective.
If we are able to enter our hearts, we are able to have relationships with other people, relationship to nature, relationship to everything. We use the dance. Often it's the possibility to really reconnect with our embodiment, to be really who we are.
You bring, with singing, you bring people together. You create a beautiful vessel of expressing yourselves with your voice.
The moment I'm doing sounds helps me to feel myself. The presence of the human and the presence of the space between humans. This is a very important element of music. If this isn't there, I wouldn't even call it music.
We need to have this reconnection between body, heart and mind.
And then once the heart is awakened, to find our emotional intelligence, our emotional capacity to allow emotions to move through us, because so much of that was repressed in order to bring all our attention to our brain.
The anger, as the sadness, the fear and the joy are energies. How can I own them instead of like guilt and sending responsibility away to others? That brings us some information. If we don't listen to that information, then no change can happen. But in the moment I am in a listening space for what I have inside, then I listen, okay, I'm angry because that thing, it doesn't work for me. Then I can communicate it and others can listen. Or I can make myself a different action.
I could use my emotions in a way differently, like I don't need to be afraid of them.
We hardly ever dare let people see beyond our facade.
So in the moment that I feel safe to bring my objections and my fears, my concerns, but also my joy and enthusiasm in a group, that is truly transformative. Because I'm giving the other people a chance to truly see me. And I'm giving myself a chance to be seen.
To be seen is to be loved.
Because then I see in you and you see in me. There are blurred lines of separation between us.
Maybe the most important part of what Edie brought me was understand really what means leadership in a way that I never had experienced before.
We could lead with our heart. We can lead with our intuition. We can lead with our capacities in the kitchen. And that to begin to share leadership, to really recognize we're all in this together. What would an embodied leader do? An embodied leader has the capacity to be vulnerable.
And by doing that, you create trust. Eventually, we always say, showing yourself in a vulnerability state creates love.
Usually the question I have, like, oh, you really want to live into community? Are you going to make it?
I come from Africa. We have this word called Ubuntu that talks about being together. I am because you are. No man is an island. You cannot live forever alone in your life and expect things to work out for you. Communities are very important to our very being. We can't be who we are without them.
We depend on the feedback and the support of other people. Otherwise, on your own, it is impossible.
For me, community is the best learning field ever.
I've never felt so connected to other people doing the same work before. I think I've made lifelong friends. I have never felt so much support, especially from people I've just met.
From the last years, there are 3 communities coming out of the EDEs.
So living into community would be a fantastic way for me to learn so much about myself and about the others.
And then as our ability to function in groups expands, then we see the political sphere. We can begin to imagine with this direct experience of a group transforming. We can begin to create and imagine our entire society changing.
We as human beings, we have the potential to really connect, to make things connect. No other, I would say, being has such a potential in doing this.
It's really important for us to reconnect to nature and to regenerate nature because we are nature. And without nature, then we have no life.
We are only able to live because there is so much nutrition coming from the earth. The first nature we have to reconnect is our body, which I have as a gift.
We are that little blue speck. What a gift we've been given to be here. And it's so possible for us to thrive and cherish this gift we've been given.
Maybe the purpose of the human is to evolve to a place where we thrive and all the rest thrive.
Each of us is here to contribute or to influence the elements around us.
Every word you say, every action you take makes a difference. the whole is never the same once you have spoken.
Imagine how different the world would be if people thought, I have something to give.
So if everyone started small acts of amazing work, taking care of each other, taking care of the environment, it would be so powerful.
Solutions are out there and pioneers are out there and things are happening. So to be part of the solution also means to maybe step outside of your comfort zone and step into something more collective which is already there.
These challenges are here for us. They're our gift to bring out the best of our human potential.